Hey, hi, hello, divas. It's me, Presto, and here I am again for episode 3 of Diva. Hi, welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in yet again to hear me gab about whatever the hell it is I'm going to gab about this week. I just got finished recording with the guest for this week's episode, and I'm very, very excited. Friend of mine from Threads, and we talked about a fun topic, and I'm excited for y'all to get to that, so definitely stay tuned for that. But I guess we're just gonna get right into it here because there's some stuff going on in the Threads void right now at the time that I'm recording this. Again, not entirely sure when this is gonna come out because as you're all sick and tired of hearing, I know, I wanna release once I hit 10K. As of right now, at the time of recording it, I am about 500 away, so we're getting there, and I mean, by the course by the time this comes out, it'll be old news, but anyway, that's still exciting. But what has happened recently is they just introduced the Fediverse, which sounds fake to me. You wanna know what it like, it would every time I see it, I think what it makes me think of is, like, what is it, Frederator, that, that, like, production company that would makes, like, Jimmy Neutron and stuff, and a bunch of other, like, cartoons. That's what it makes me think of, but also it just sounds it just sounds like a made up thing. But, I mean, I've had to explain it a couple of times in the best way that I know how on Threads when people ask me about it, but from what I understand the Fediverse to be is like and how I guess it was explained when I was reading about it was it seems that it's like a middleman of sorts for like social media content to go and live on to be viewable across multiple platforms. So the way I understand it right now is like it's only tied to Mastodon, I think, another social platform. Like I think that that's what it's in beta right now, and I think that that's what it is. That's like the only other place that I can think of, like that I've seen anyway, that it's done that was like show up there. That's how I found out also how many posts I've made, which is a staggering amount. It's 62,000 posts. Like I guess Mastodon shows it. But wow. And I'm pretty sure, like I was talking to some people about it too. I'm pretty sure that that includes like replies, comments, and that kind of thing. Because damn, like that is a lot. And like I know I post a lot, and I know y'all know I post a lot, but like that's a lot. When I told Ethan, he's like, that's like 6 threads for every follower you have. Like, which I mean, sure, go claim your 6, I guess. But, besides the Fediverse, what the other huge hot topic, which I'll be interested to see where like, what this is looking like by the time this is able to actually be released and by the time y'all are listening to this, but all of the rage right now is the throttling of political content on Meta or, like, Threads, Instagram, Facebook, such. Um, and, I mean, I have a couple minds about it. I mean, obviously I don't love that it auto opts people out of it. I think that like it should be an auto opt in perhaps, and then you can opt yourself out if you want to. So like I guess I could see that frustration, but also I mean like I would probably stay opted out because like I don't go there for political stuff. Like I can go watch the news. Um or I mean try to spread out where I'm getting my news from. I guess I've never been one to go to social media for news and on politics and things. That's just never been my thing. So I mean, and maybe it doesn't affect me much because of that. And I don't really particularly want to see it. Like y'all know my vibe by now. Like I'm trying to have like I'm trying to be that escape for y'all and for myself rather. Because I know what's going on in the world, but like I'm trying to be the escape and the joy and all of that. But it is interesting to me though that that being said, with all of the complaining that I'm seeing, I guess from the political accounts about it, it's just interesting to me because like with the trending topics, like half, at least half of the trending topics at any given time are political based. In fact, the term political content was number like the only thing trending for a minute. And then like even that phrase is still like last time I checked it was still even in the trending. And then just any political thing. So I guess when I see that like it's not computing. I don't know if it hasn't been turned on yet with the throttling or what, but like I'm seeing more people complain about the political content being throttled than I'm actually seeing political content. So, I mean, I don't know what make with that what you will, just an observation that I've made. But, besides that, it's I mean, I know last week I was talking about, some drama happening. Again, I wasn't privy to all of it, but from what gathered, it's resolved. I don't know. Again, I never know with this because it's like I don't know if the drama stopped or and it was resolved or if I just no longer see it. Like if it's just been if it's not what the algorithm's offering up to me. I don't know, but I haven't been seeing a whole lot of it, so that's good. But that's pretty much it on like what's going on in the threads void for me. I mean, I'm just keeping on. I with the whole Fediverse thing, I haven't noticed anything. Like maybe it's because I don't actually have a Mastodon account and I don't have followers there because like I haven't gotten any interaction across the Fediverse because I don't like it. I guess it'll tell you like it's a Fediverse user when in the notifications. I've had it turned on since the beta was announced like a couple days ago, and I've seen nothing. Maybe that's for the best. I mean, I don't know. I know because a friend sent me a screenshot of it. I know that like my account's visible on Mastodon, but I just don't know like since there's probably no followers there. I don't know how if it's going to be pushed or what. But I'm who knows. I might turn it off at some point. But for now, it's on and it's something. But yeah. But we can just like move right on along to Diva Book Club because I did start a new book. So I finished the like last week was when I was talking about actual book club that I'm in. The book we were reading was The Inmate by Frida McFadden. Talked about that last week because I finished that like way early. At the time of recording this, we still haven't even had that book club meeting yet. But I did start another audiobook that I saw talked about on Threads, and it's called Less by Andrew Sean Greer. And I've only barely started it. I think I'm still only in the first chapter, but the way that it's set up, like it's the first chapter is like an hour and a half worth of a clip. So like I think I'm like halfway through the first chapter. And it's fun so far. Basically though, the vibes like that I get from it so far uh is like is giving like Eat Pray Love but like gay man edition is kind of the vibe. But again, I'm so early on in it and I saw this section is not going to be too long this time, but that's kind of what it's giving. uh and then there's interesting accent work with the narrator Robert Petkoff, if I'm saying that correctly. He's the narrator on the Audible audiobook, and the accents that he's done, I've heard him do on there so far. Like, I think there was a French one that he's done. He did a Japanese one. Like, he's it's something. I don't it's kind of silly to listen to, like not so great accents, but the book is award winning, and a lot of people like it, but then also a lot of people don't from what I've seen. Like it's pretty polarizing. So I'll let y'all know next time when I finish it what I think of it. But so far, I mean, it's definitely enjoyable so far. I like a queer story, and especially one about like an older gay man. I mean, I say older, like he's 50. That's not old, but like older than me. But it's nice to read a story like that. But we'll see how I like it and how it goes. I'm very interested. It seems like it's set up to be a fun story. So more to come on that, divas. And then as far as what I'm watching, of course, watching Drag Race, the episode that aired last night was a dumb challenge, I think. It was the bathroom like design challenge. I've never been a huge fan of like those interior design type challenges that they've done. I didn't quite like it when they did the club one on All Stars, but I mean, it did give us the Club 96 thing, which is like great and iconic. But I'm not a huge fan of the challenges like that, mostly because like I don't I guess it's just for the fun of it, but like I don't see how that is a drag challenge. I don't see how something like that is a drag queen challenge. But I mean, whatever. It was still no, I don't even want to say I wasn't entertained this episode. I just wasn't. I was bored through pretty much all of it. And I know this is the episode we got like a plain Jane uh redemption, and which is fine. And like I still think that she's just okay. I mean, I would tip her if I saw her performing, but like she's not my favorite. I don't think she's gonna win. And I know I mentioned in the first episode, I believe, of this podcast that my winner at that time of the season was I was pretty sure that Nymphia was gonna win. And I mean, I think that she still can. She could still come and get it, but definitely Saphira is the one getting the winner's edit, it seems now. And I mean, she's killing it. She won this week's challenge alongside Plain Jane, but she won this week's challenge as well as last week's challenge. So like she's a two for two in a row, which is fabulous. And she's just excellent, just drag excellence. So I would be happy with her winning, but I can also see Nymphia winning. But I either one of them, perfect. But yeah, besides that, we still have Q being a sore loser, not she telling Saphira that Saphira's win was not deserved and all the drama around that. But and then ultimately, like the runway was cute. I liked all the chains and such. I do think that my favorite runway was Nymphia's runway, that like blue florally patterned like corset, like she had like the dominatrix kind of look and everything was like a powder blue and she had that powder blue whip. Oh, so good. Loved that. All the pretty chains with like there I mean I think there was like colored tassels on them. I I might be naming them the wrong thing because I'm pretty sure that it was a cultural piece for her. So very cool. Nevertheless, I loved it. I thought it was beautiful and delicate, like the judges even said. So very good. And then bottom two being Dawn and Morphine again. And while it's one of those I love Morphine, but it was one of those deals where I'm like, I think that, like, since she had already been at the bottom a handful of times, I would have liked to see her get sent home at that point, but also Dawn did not do well this episode. Like, she did not do well in the challenge. She was steamrolled by Nymphia in the challenge, and then her runway was just okay. It wasn't compared to some of the others. Like it was pretty, but it was a little basic. So and of course, like how is I guess really now that I'm talking about it out loud, like how is she gonna win against Morphine to body yada 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 yada? Like she didn't stand a chance against that BBL. But it was upsetting to see Dawn go, but also, I mean, it's what I can see Dawn coming back for All Stars. So I think we can keep our eyes peeled for that. And then I also loved that she just wrote "bye" on the screen or the mirror. I mean, but like I just thought that was cute, just bye and signing. But that wonderful, love that. And then that's pretty much all that I'm watching right now. I haven't watched Quiet on Set yet. I've been meaning to, and I know I need to because it's important. Like I was a consumer of Nickelodeon television growing up as a child. Like I'm sure like a lot of us were, and I know, and of course, like I've read the Jeanette's book. Like I'm glad my mom died and all of that. And I want to watch this, but I have to make sure that like I'm ready and in a good headspace to watch it because I know myself it's gonna put me in a mood. So I just kind of need to be prepared for it. But it is definitely on my watch list. Um, Pivoting in what I'm listening to right now, really, I mean, it's Ariana's album Eternal Sunshine has been pretty much on like it's been songs from it, if not the whole album, it has been played every single day since it's come out. And a lot of it is growing on me. I still don't like the Yes and remix, but a lot of it is growing on me. But besides that, I did listen to Casey Musgrave's new album, Deeper Well, and I very much enjoyed that. It gave me I remember like from the first track, Cardinal, I was like the second that it started playing, I was like, "Ah, this is like bringing me back." It's giving me Vanessa Carlton, Michelle Branch, like it's giving me like all the best parts of like 2000 singer-songwriter, but then also like of course, the country vibes and such, but it was a lovely listen through on over-ear headphones. I just sat here at my desk and listened to the whole thing through, just eyes closed, taking it in, like she's wonderful. Wonderful album, highly recommend. It's very vibey. Like it's not like it's not what I'm normally listening to, which is like the dance pop stuff, but it's definitely a nice change of pace and a nice vibe. And then looking forward to in just a few days, or I guess a week rather, because I'm recording on a Saturday, and this next coming Friday is when Beyonce's Cowboy Carter album. The Act 2 comes out, and I am so excited for Beyonce country music, y'all. I'm so amped. My little gay Texas heart is so ready for Beyonce country. I cannot wait. I mean, I already am loving Texas Hold'em and 16 Carriages. Beautiful songs, fun, just oh, I'm excited. Didn't particularly care for the cover though. I saw someone on Threads say that it looked AI generated, and I was like, "Eek. Yeah, I can kind of see that," but I mean, also it's Beyonce, we love her. I mean, that's pretty much it with that. I mean, I'm excited for that, and then I'll just be listening to whatever comes up on my Spotify day list, which some of those day lists they get so silly. Like I think the last one, like what was the last one that I had? Well, the last one that I had was 2020's Get Ready with Me Friday Evening, but I even wonder what it is. Like that was the last screenshot I have, but let me see what it is like right now. Um so right now, who hubris villain Saturday morning is the vibe this morning apparently. So that's fun. Those crack me up, those day list names, whatever, however AI gets those. But then switching on over, besides that, I mean, I've been playing World of Warcraft still with my brother. I I feel like I fear we've been sucked back into it. I've been playing that game off and on since I was in middle school when Burning Crusade came out, and now I'm back again. But what's kind of sweet is that my brother and I both recreated our original characters that we made together when we were children. So that's exciting. His is a blood elf hunter and mine is a blood elf mage. So we've been playing through those and we're excited for the expansion to come out. I pre-ordered the expansion and we're gonna play through that together. But it's nice and it's exciting to play through a game like that with my brother again. I always love finding something to do with him. So that'll be fun. I'm excited, looking forward to playing through that. Have been having a good time playing that. But yeah, and with that, y'all, it is time, divas, for I Want to Know Diva, the segment on here where I bring on a friend, a guest, just whoever, to talk to me a little bit about an interest, a passion, a hobby, really just whatever they want to talk to me about. And this week, I'm excited to have my friend Sam from Threads. So you know what, divas, let's just go ahead and do it. Let's go. Alrighty, hey, hi, hello, divas. And I'm so excited to bring on one of my very first friends from Threads, Sam from Threads. He's requested to be identified as, and so he is on Threads at, is it Zebo? Is that how you say it? or
Yeah, I did like poll once asking how people say it, and I think Zebo was like the main one. Some people say Zebo,
just with a little extra on it.
a little sound.
Well, I'm so excited that you're here. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh God, thanks for having me. This is so exciting.
Yes, I mean, I don't know when this is gonna be out because I'm still like, I'm sticking to that I want 10,000 first before I launch, and I'm
Of
like
course.
a little less than 500 away at this point. And also your episode like 3. So it's gonna be 3 weeks beyond when it launches is when you will pop up. But
Can't wait.
anyway, I have been so excited to talk to you about I guess for this time, like normally this segment, which is called I Wanna Know Diva, normally this is about like a passion or like a hobby or whatever. But this, I mean, I guess is it a former passion or hobby, I suppose?
I don't know if it's a passion, if it was a hobby, if it was a job. It was a year and a half period of my life.
Great. Well, I'm gonna let you tell them what is it? What was that period? What are we talking about today, Sam?
I guess we're talking about my deep past as a cam boy.
Yes. Oh my god, I'm so excited. So, I mean, when? What was the time frame that you were doing
Okay, so
this?
this was a long time ago now. This was in 2009, 2010
Okay. I
in
was in
college.
high school.
I was in college, so it was okay that I was doing it, but it was different than it is now where like everything's very structured and corporate when it comes to that kind of stuff, and it was a lot more loosey goosey back then as far as like people doing things for pay, without pay. There were so many different websites and
Yeah, like that was definitely one of the like you're jumping to one of the questions that I even had was like just internet landscape then versus
Mhm.
now. Like how how vastly different it must be doing it then.
It was, I mean, I haven't done it in a long time, but like compared to the way like Cam4 or like Chatterbait or even like OnlyFans works now, um, it was just a lot less. I don't know. Hierarchy is the wrong word. It was a lot less corporate. It was a lot more, wild west of the internet of like, yeah, sure, I'll put on a camera and see what
Why not? Well, and
happens.
then like 'cause I know like with I mean, I'm not like super I've never used any of these the ones that you just mentioned, but like I'm obviously familiar with like Chatterbait or OnlyFans and such, but I know though at least with OnlyFans, like there's that payment like set up within the app and
Mhm.
everything. So what was it like that then? Like did those services you were using then, like was it just kind of like pay me some other way, or was there like
It was still built in, so, like, people would have to put their credit card into the site, and, like, some sites were, like, free, like, it was just you're on it and you're doing what you wanna do, and you're just an exhibitionist, and you don't really care if people pay you or not, which I guess you can still do on some of the platforms now, but, um yeah, like in some ways it was the same. It was like tokens based, or like you could either be in a private room where people pay like per minute to go in, or you could just be in a public room and people pay tips,
okay.
and through tips you perform for the crowd.
I love well, okay. And how perform, I love it. What made you even wanna get into this? Like, how did you find out
Uh,
about it? Or was it like a customer to participant type of deal?
it was impulsive. I didn't come out until my junior year of college, which was around when I started doing it.
Okay.
I started doing it when I was studying abroad because we were traveling. We were in Barcelona and I had my wallet stolen.
Uh-oh.
And when we got back, I was in Germany. When we got back to Germany, like my friends were all doing other stuff, and I couldn't do anything because I was waiting for my American bank to send me a bank card to Germany. So I was just like in my little apartment, and I was like, I'm bored.
It's so
I'm horny,
yeah,
and I was like,
a
because then
dangerous combo.
when you're bored and you're horny,
Yeah. I mean,
sometimes you go on a camera.
when you're bored and you're horny and you have access to a webcam and the internet,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
you're in
Yep,
your
and
20s.
you're 21 years
Yeah.
old, and, these things happen, so
Freshly out of the
that's how it
closet.
started.
I love that. I mean, I didn't do that. I can really I mean, I came out when I was 19, so, like, around the similar age, and I was, like, out of the closet, let me go be a little my have my little hoe phase, but, like, I met Ethan shortly after that, but anyhow, so I get the young coming out or I guess, like, even I mean, older for me, most of the gay people I know came out like, before, like, college. I was not
Mhm.
one of them, but anyhow. Um, okay, and how long were you doing this then? You said? Like
So, yeah, I guess I started it in the spring of 2009, and then it kinda carried through until the summer of 2010, so a little
oh,
more than a year.
okay, so not super, super long, but I
Not
mean
super, super long, yeah, I would not call myself a professional in the
well,
field.
you were making money, that's professional to me.
Yeah, I mean, I was a sex worker of sorts, um, but I never thought of it that way. It was just fun.
Just fun. A little extra
Um,
money on the side.
yeah, because I was also doing other more mainstream work
Oh?
at the same time. I worked at a restaurant, and,
Oh, okay. Well, I thought
um,
mainstream
yeah.
work, I'm thinking, like, other types of
Oh, no,
yeah.
not more mainstream sex work. No, I wasn't doing more types of that. Um, it was just camming, and I it was fun. It was a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, it also was a weird time,
I
but it
mean,
was a
I'm sure. Well, because like, was I imagine something like that, like, do you have any experience, like, were there parasocial relationship type things for like, did you have people that, like, were regulars, recurring, get weird, or
Absolutely, both weird and not weird regulars. Plenty of cool regulars. But yeah, people. Well, I mean, this is off topic. Well, on topic, but a
There's no
tangent.
structure. Talk about whatever.
Um, I don't remember what it's called, but I saw a movie trailer for a horror movie about this girl who's a cam girl,
I know the one.
and she like has her whole she has a stalker. I don't really know, couldn't tell what the plot was really about because it's a horror movie, but it's like she ends up getting replaced somehow by like a
Yes.
lookalike, and I was like, oh, I kind of weirdly relate to this.
Oh, I think that movie's called Cam, I
I
think.
think it is. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I know the one you're talking about, and yeah, it's like yeah, she has, like, a rival cam girl that's, like that
Something
ends
like that.
up, like, yeah, taking over her
And I don't know if
thing.
her stalker ends up being like on her side or if he's a bad guy, but I'm just like, yep, I totally like I never had anyone who was like totally creepy like that, but
Well, that's good.
the kinds of requests you get are always really funny.
I'm sure, I mean, they're behind a keyboard, their face isn't showing, I would imagine, right?
Their face is not. Sometimes if you go to a one-on-one private room, they would put it on, but usually they weren't the kind of person I wanted to look at to be shallow about it.
I
Um,
mean, you're just being honest.
mhm.
Um,
But you try your best.
well, and were you a face shower? Like, did you do
I
the whole okay.
was. I was not cautious at all. I was young, dumb, just showing everything
Everything. That was gonna be about I
for
was like
everybody.
that was gonna be, like, my next question, like, with, without getting too, I guess, proby, like, how what was the extent of things that you did? Was it, like, anything goes, or did you have, what were your limits?
Um, I never did any weird.
You don't I mean, you are
I don't mind.
yeah.
I know. I never did any weird like some people would ask for like fart stuff, and like I was not. I just wasn't into that.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
pardon my laugh, I don't mean to yuck anyone's yum, but that is a
I I was yucking their yum when I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And the like when people want you to put certain things inside yourself.
just whatever you
No,
have around.
no, I'm not gonna do that.
We've seen
Um,
the videos with the jar.
oh my god. The things people put inside themselves, human beings, the human body's an amazing and scary
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
But I was not that adventurous. Um, Nothing too crazy. Uh, I mean, like I sold a few pairs of underwear.
Okay.
Um,
I feel like
because
that's relatively tame in
that's some
that
pretty
space.
tame, low stakes, yeah. But mostly it was your typical take it out and jerk it, touch your
Work.
butt, that kind of thing.
I mean, work. Slay.
Yeah.
I I mean, would you d and now in today's I mean, yes, I know that you're all coupled off and all of that and, older and whatnot, but would you in today's internet landscape, like, if you were 21 now, like, would you be doing it in this internet landscape too? And, like, you think?
Probably.
Yeah.
Like, if I was the same person that I was back then and I was in yeah,
You would have had, like, an empire, yeah? Like, with the way that things are
definitely
set
not.
up now?
Definitely wouldn't have an empire. I mean, when I, like, process the kind of lifestyle that, like, for example, like, really big, like, OnlyFans people have, like, one, they're not like, they have managers, like, they're not even replying to their own, like, DMs, like,
Yeah.
which is fi like, good for them, like, I respect their hustle, but it's like, I wouldn't that's not me, like, I just did it for fun.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I
and that
enjoyed
reminds me,
it.
like, isn't even, like, on this season of Drag Race, wasn't it, like, a mandatory meeting? Who said that she did that? That, like, she
Yes, that's
responded
right, she did say that.
Yeah.
She's, like, a professional
And she
replier,
yeah, and
like,
she does it,
for
like
these, like, girls on OnlyFans, and all these, like, old straight men are like, "Yeah, baby," and she's just like, "Yeah,
that
daddy."
is
And it's like
when I heard that, I was like, "That is hysterical." 'Cause, like, I
so
have a handful of friends who are sex workers in the digital space, but, like, they handle all their own stuff. So, like,
mm,
I mean, maybe they're just, like, smaller, maybe just don't have management or what, but I had never even heard of that happening. So when she was talking about that, I was like, "Well, that sure is something, I guess." Yeah.
yeah. When I think the cost breakdown as far as, like, your payment structure, if you're trying to do it to make a living, I think it's a lot there's a lot more involved there, and, like, I'm not an expert because I'm not doing this professionally, so
Sure.
I would not presume to understand exactly how this works for them, but
Yeah, not
I think
nowadays. Yeah.
that there's a lot of um, there's a lot of pressure to either because one, you're not collecting as much as you'd think you'd be collecting from the site, and then if you're managing it yourself, it's a huge time commitment if you want to be successful, and if you're not managing it yourself, then you're losing a bigger cut
Yeah.
to a management company. And I'm sure there's like agents now that like sign people, and then you're beholden to that crowd. So I mean, I think kind of like the porn industry. I just think it's kind of you have to watch out for yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
And
I'm familiar. I mean, it's just like, I mean, I'm pulling out from just what I've heard, but I'm pretty sure that there like exist like I guess like agencies within like the actual sex workers, like they establish their own agencies
Mhm.
and like manage each other via that way, so they don't have to have like a completely third party.
Right, like a corporate.
And you, I mean, and of course, we can cut this part out if you don't. But I recall you was mentioning at some point that you met your now husband this way. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, you don't have to cut it out. It's fine.
Okay.
Um, yeah, he was he was one of my regulars.
Hey.
Um, yeah, and he had a profile picture, and it was a really good profile picture, and so this was back in the Skype days.
Ooh.
So he sent me his Skype, and we would have our own
Sure.
little
Sure.
moments,
Your
and
own
we
little
would
private
talk
one.
all night. You know, it was that typical like, I mean, not typical, but it was that kind of young dumb love thing.
Sure.
Of like we can, we're always going to be talking to each other, and we're never going to say goodnight and fall
Yeah.
asleep while talking on Skype. It was that kind of thing.
Oh,
It was cute,
that is
and
cute.
yeah, we here we are now. We are married for almost 7 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Love that. I mean, obviously, I mean, it's a good thing you did it, I guess.
I know, that's the thing, but it's funny because like, our families don't know that real story.
Oh, okay. Well,
Um, like, they
shh,
think
don't they better not be here listening.
I don't think so.
No, I'm not expecting it.
Uh, they think that we met on just, like I mean, first of all, they're straight and they're boomers, so it's easy to just be like, "We met online on this, like, forum for young gays," and blah, 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 like, they're like,
A
"Oh, that's
forum.
cute. We don't understand, but fine." Um But yeah, the real story is that he was watching me on cam, and I
I
think
love
it's
that.
hot.
Well, how long were like how long was he a regular before like the relationship started
Only a
forming?
couple of months before we started to talk off of the site,
Okay.
and then once we started talking off of the site, it escalated quickly, and then within by that summer, which is around the time I stopped doing the camming, went to visit each other because we weren't in the same city,
Okay.
and uh, yeah, we were like he was a year, he was 2 years behind me in school. So I was just graduating, and he was finishing his sophomore year in college, and we were not in the same city, but we also weren't across the whole country from each other. So we did this little like silly long distance thing, but it didn't seem like super difficult because the way we met each other was on a
Sure.
webcam, so it felt like carrying on the relationship
Yeah. It
through the
wasn't, yeah.
webcam worked.
That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, because you're not like it wouldn't feel like a step backwards.
Right, exactly. It just felt like a big step forwards whenever we were together.
Oh,
And then the summer after that, so he went away. He studied abroad, and we didn't see a ton of each other. And then when he came back in between his junior and senior year, we like lived together. We like sublet an apartment here, and just to kind of be like, do we actually work together? Or do we just work through a
sure.
camera and like when we meet up every few weekends?
Right. Like, can
um,
you cohabitate?
and we could, and it worked, really well, and we had a lot of fun. And then he went away for his senior year, and that year we were kind of every other weekend we were traveling back and forth to see each other.
Wow.
And yeah, and then he moved up here when he graduated, and we've lived together in different places, but we've lived together ever since.
I love
So
that.
it's our
I
little
love love.
I know, it's our
That's
little gay fairy tale.
I love it. I mean, Ethan and I met on OkCupid, so still online, but not
Yeah,
quite like
it's super
that.
common. That's why I just say we met online and no one questions it, but like we have a slightly different version of the online story.
Oh, man. Well, I mean, like, what I've run out of the questions that I already had, but, like, now I'm just like, other ones are coming to me.
Sure.
Like, what would like, do you have a favorite part of it and a not so favorite part of it? Or, like
Of the camming
yeah,
experience?
like, of, like, all of it. Like, was there a part that you, like, what brought you back to it? Was it just boredom and horniness? Or, like or obviously before you met your husband, I'm sure that was a big draw.
Yeah, that was what kinda got me to stop doing it because I just didn't feel like I needed to. And the income was never, like, the driver of it. I don't think it was nice, but it wasn't why I was doing it. I just enjoyed the interaction. I got amusement out of it. Um, there's like an exhibitionist impulse there, but there's also just like a this is fun and this is like silly and
It
these people are weird and it's just like
just silly and
it's just
goofy.
fun. I don't know. I just liked it. It like scratched an itch, and every once in a while I feel that I don't scratch it anymore. I just vent about it every once in a while.
Yeah, I've seen the account.
Yes, you.
Oh, man, I love that. I mean, I don't know. I don't got any other questions, but, like, anything else you wanna drop, or we could pivot to something else, or what? I mean, these haven't been
Mm.
going like, it doesn't have to go for too terribly much longer. I mean, typically,
I
they
don't mind.
go
Yeah,
from, like
I'll talk for as long or as short. We can talk about whatever. I it's funny. I always feel like this would be the moment where I'd be like, "And I'm coming back." Like,
oh
see
my
me,
god.
like plug my
Yeah, I would
merch,
say,
plug
"Alright, now
my
surprise."
special appearance on Cam 4. But no, nothing like that. Um, no,
Bring
yeah,
the hubby this
it was
time.
just a fun, silly little chapter of my life. I mean, it coincided with my, as you mentioned, the coming out slut phase.
Sure.
So it was there was just a lot going on during that year and a half for me. And then I settled down relatively quick. Like I got it
I
out of
mean
the system.
yeah, I mean, mine was similar, granted, like I said, it wasn't like the camming side of things, but, like, I had my little hoe phase. I dated a handful of guys very rapidly, and then I met Ethan very soon into it. Like, I had only been out a few months, and then we met, and then that was kinda like I mean, that was that.
Mhm.
Like, we're almost 9 well, about to be 9 years in.
Congrats.
So, thanks.
I know we're
But so
going on 14, which is
oh,
crazy. Because 2010, it's crazy. Um,
oh,
yeah, it sounds like you're like the coming out to meeting your like long-term man was similar to my husband's because he was not out like publicly for very much at all. So he was like one of those like I'm barely in the closet, but I'm on campsites because I'm not actually doing anything much in real life
aw.
yet. That was his sort of story arc.
Aw,
Um,
I love that. I
yeah.
was very much in the closet until I wasn't. I mean, everyone knew, but to
Mhm.
me, it was, "Oh, no, never, there's no way.
My husband
Shoving
was
that
like that.
down."
It was a very glass closet. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
um, I
Yeah.
was a lot more like before I came out. I think there were probably a few people, but I think most people were just not suspicious or whatever.
Well, I mean, even, like God bless her, my, she's one of my closest friends, has been now, but I was one of my girlfriends in high school,
Oh, fun.
and yeah, and she's, like, one of my very closest friends now. I like to say, like, she's my soulmate, as, like, soulmates aren't always romantic, but so I still think that she's that, but she even she makes drag for me, like, she made that Barbie costume for me that
Oh,
I did for,
fun.
yeah, so and she's made a handful of costumes for me because that's what she does out in LA now, professionally, but I was like, that it's a fun little jump from
That
then to
journey.
now. What a
I
journey.
like sort of similar. One of my good friends from high school, she our parents always thought we would get together. We never did, but our parents always thought we would. And then like I would like house sit for her parents a lot after I graduated college and like she was in Europe and this and that. But then but then like all of a sudden she came out and she was a lesbian. And
Oh,
now she's
great.
married to her wife and like they have a kid and
So
like
mom and dad, it was never gonna happen.
I know, and and so both of them, when they came to our wedding, and then we went to their wedding. But both of our parents like we always thought they would get together, but this is cute too.
This
um,
works.
yeah, like I don't see them very often because they don't live near me, but um, it's a good. I like those little relationships where it's like this is such a like sweet little thing, and
Yeah.
never went anywhere romantically because of course it didn't. But
No, why would it?
why
Especially
would
in
it?
that situation. Like there,
I
ain't
know
no
it's
one was interested.
both of us were just like we're friends.
Mhm. Truly, really and truly.
hmm
Oh man. Well, that's good stuff.
Very good
Well,
stuff.
I mean, that's all I got, my friend. Like I think
That's fine.
yeah, I mean, we're about where it ends up for most. Like, because this is also like only a portion of the whole thing. Like the
Yeah.
episode's half just me and then half with you.
Okay,
But
no, that's totally fine. This
yeah,
is fun.
but
I enjoyed it.
yes, oh my god, thank you so much. And it's been wonderful to like talk to you face to face.
I know instead of through the threads character limit.
Right, right. Well, like, go ahead and I mean, I know I plugged you a little bit, but like, where would you like to be found? Is it just Threads or is
Yeah, it's just threads because everything else I is all private and locked down because of my
as it should,
job.
as it should
So
be.
yeah, threads you can find me at SZEEVO Zebo. Um, I don't know. People seem to like me.
I do.
I have
I
strong
think you're pretty
opinions,
cool.
but I'm also chaotic and fun and silly. And
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
get things too.
you're gonna die on that plain Jane hill.
I am gonna die on the plain Jane Hill, I swear. And I'm gonna die on Fahrenheit, and I'm gonna die on beans on toast. Those are my hills that I will die on.
That's all right. I mean, I'll stand next to you on the plain Jane hill. I still think she's just mid, but I don't think that she's bad. So I'll
She
stand
is
next to
not
you
bad,
there.
absolutely.
No,
I can
absolutely
respect
not.
people who aren't in love with plain Jane, but she's not bad.
Yeah, her redemption was like, yes, it was a redemption.
Full circle.
Yeah, oh yeah. I'm
Mhm.
still not the biggest fan, but
Fair.
again, I would tip her. I would tip her.
Oh, and I have tipped her because she's so much fun.
Oh my god, seems like a riot at a show. I'm sure that she would be fun to work with.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, she's fun. She's great.
but anyway, I know we like. Thank you again, Sam,
Oh
for
my
being
gosh,
here
this
with
was so
me.
much fun. Thank you.
I hope to maybe have you again on to talk about the other topic that we
Sure,
were.
yeah, we could yeah,
Yeah, so
happy to do it.
I mean, I don't know how it's gonna play out for the rest of this season, because I'm gonna try to do like 12-episode seasons, I think, about 3 month span each, and then take like a month off in between is kind of the goal. So but we're gonna be in touch. So I'm sure you'll
Yeah,
be back next
okay.
season as well.
Well, thanks, this was great.
Yes, alrighty. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, thank you so much, Sam, for joining me. That I love chatting and hanging out with him. That was a fun little conversation. I was so intrigued by his background in that sort of like cam work. So thank you for sharing that. It was super fun. I'm glad that you were able to meet your husband through that. It's a beautiful story. God, I love. But that's pretty much it today, divas. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you again to Sam on Threads for joining me for episode 3. I'm having fun, y'all. I'm having fun making these. And this time around, like recording this third one, I'm way less uptight about it. I'm having fun, and I hope that y'all enjoy this when it comes out. I hope you have fun listening to it. I know it's not much. I know it's just kind of like background noise, but thank you. Just thank y'all. I appreciate you. I'll see you next week, divas.